Now that we've drawn a few things, and we've looked at a little bit of the basic workflow, you draw a sketch, you make a shape, and then you can change the shape. Let's look at a few things that seem very basic, that were very easy in Rhino, but that might not be so straightforward in SolidWorks. So let's say I wanted to delete these things right here. So I maybe box select them and hit delete. Uh-oh. None of the selected entities could be deleted. What the heck does that mean? Well, you can't do that. What you can do is click on it here in the viewport, and you can see that it highlights it in my tree. So at least I can select that. And then I can go down here and find this one and select it by holding the Control key to select multiple select. And then select this last one, also holding the Control key. And now I can hit delete. And it's asking me, do you really want to delete this rectangle feature? And I just say yeah. And then it's saying that stuff's going to fail, blah, blah, blah. This is all confusing. We'll just ignore for now. And then what it's saying is, basically what just happened was that we deleted a feature that this feature depended on. Right? Remember when we drew the sketch for this rectangle, we drew it on this face. Well, this face is a part of this feature. So if I delete this feature, then that face no longer exists. And so what it's saying is feature sketch 4, which if we look is down here underneath this extrude 5, which is why you see the little red stoplight on top of the extrude feature there. It's saying we're having trouble with this feature because there's no longer a face there for me to put that sketch on. What do you want me to do? And in this case, I'm going to say just ignore, and it's going to put these back in space at the same location where they used to be, even though this one is giving me a warning saying I'm just leaving the sketch where it was, even though there's no longer a face for me to be on. So when you delete things, be aware that you may create problems. So what we're going to do in this case is delete this backwards, starting with the last thing in the tree. So we'll hit delete for this. Now, we can do this. We'll hit delete for that, and then delete that, and then delete our rectangle, and now everything is okay. And it's giving me a warning because we still have the sketches, so we need to also select the sketches, and then delete them. And now we're done. Now it's all deleted. That seems like a lot of extra work, doesn't it? So I'm going to undo all that and put back all of our stuff. Alright, so this time, instead, I'm going to go to the parent feature, delete it, and it says, do you really want to delete it? And down here it says, also delete absorbed features. An absorbed feature is something like this sketch, where we drew the sketch, and it ended up underneath this this extrusion feature. You can see that it's a sub-item in the tree. That means it's absorbed. So when I hit delete, we're going to say also delete absorbed features, because we do want rid of the sketch. And then also delete child features. Click that, and now it's showing it's also going to delete all of these as well. So we hit yes, and now all of that gets deleted all at once. So let me just do that one more time to review. Instead of deleting each of these features individually, I can delete this, and it'll delete all of that, just by making sure that these checkboxes are checked down here. So, next, we'll delete this, and this, and that. So we're back to a blank document. Let's go back to our top plane and make a sketch. We're going to spend some time in the sketcher looking at some of the different features in here. We know how to draw a rectangle. We know how to draw a circle. Some of these other tools up here are pretty straightforward. This is to draw a line, and this will draw a three-point arc, so point, point, point. So we've got an arc. We can draw an ellipse. We've already looked at that. To draw an oval. We can draw a polygon right here, and when we draw our polygon, it asks how many sides you want the polygon to be. So I'm going to undo that, and this time I'm going to activate my polygon tool, and then I'm going to put 5 sides. And now when I draw it, it gives me a 5-sided polygon. I can click OK to exit that. So there are a few different tools there. Now in the last tutorial, or sorry, in the Rhino version of this tutorial, I showed you how to do booleans with curves overlapping curves. We're not going to do that in SolidWorks. There is a way of doing something very similar, but it takes a lot more work, and it's really not worth it because we're going to do something totally different with our SolidWorks geometry. It's not going to work the same at all. So we're going to draw a rectangle. I'm going to draw an overlapping rectangle, maybe an overlapping circle, and an overlapping polygon, and an overlapping oval. Something very similar to what we did in our Rhino tutorial. And then I'll click exit here. And now we can see we have this three-dimensional shape. And now let's say we want to extrude, because ultimately we're going to a three-dimensional object here. Ultimately I don't care what happens to these 2D curves. I just care about the 3D in SolidWorks. So I'm going to go to Features and say Extruded Boss, and it'll ask what do we want to extrude. So we'll say we want to extrude this sketch here, but I clicked on this profile here, and so it chose just this rectangle to extrude. And right down here under Selected Contours, you can see that it says Sketch 6 Contour 1. I can click that, and then I can actually choose different ones if I want to. Any of these overlapping areas I could choose, or any of these outline shapes. So in this case, I've chosen an outline shape. I can click it again to deselect it, and then maybe I just want this. So I can click that, and now we're just extruding this red innermost portion. Click OK, and here we have a funky shape for the combined area there. Now the selections here don't have to be contiguous. I could select, I could click Selected Contours again, click in this little area, and then choose this area. Okay, and now we have both of those extrusions. So if I go back and edit my feature again, I can click to deselect, or wait, I gotta click over here, and then click to deselect that area, and that one. And then say I want this whole rectangle here, well I could click that. So you see the idea. I can select any different part of my sketch to extrude at any given time. So now let's extrude again. Let's do a new extruded boss. This time it says, what do you want to extrude? Well, let's expand our little tree here and select our sketch again, same sketch. And this time under Selected Contours, we'll choose maybe this. And we'll make it tall. Okay. And there you can see we have another shape extruded. So you start to see how that might work. So definitely go and play with that multi-contour sketch functionality. And in the next tutorial, we'll see if we can put that together a little bit more.